Hello, it's Larry Joe coming on in. Hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you're at. We are getting super close to Halloween, so there's that. If you believe in that, if you participate in that, or Samen, whichever you participate in. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. Should you wish to book a service, you can always email me at SirenSonglover@yahoo.com. And I will drop that in the chat. And then should you wish to donate to my ministry, it's Cash App, Siren, capital S, Song, capital S, Lover, capital L. Yeah. I don't know how the energy's been in your neck of the woods. For me, it's been crazy. It was a night of dreaming, which is always fun. Got a lot of information from dreams last night, which is, like I say, also fun. Yeah, so a lot of things that I've been trying to figure out came through last night in dreams. So, yeah. Okay. Anywho, let's see what we got going on today. Where do I want to start? I'd say start at the beginning, but there's so much to cover everywhere, every time. Anyway, let's see what we need to know today. Slightly annoyed. I had somebody that had a special request for me, and then they didn't show. And I'm like, don't waste my fucking time. But yet, here we are. Such is life, but his loss is my gain and everybody else's gain, because then it's one less person that I have to drain my energy for. Anyway, all right. So we're going to start with the messages from the Spirits of Nature Oracle is where I'm feeling called to right now. Okay, and then we're going to do a little shuffle, do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Let's see. Yeah, I'm a big one. Don't waste my fucking time, because if you waste my time, that's bad karma. My time is finite. My knowledge is top tier. So a snake shedding, number 36 and 9. You must keep shedding in order to complete your cycles. Snakes cannot grow unless they shed their skin, every piece of it. So be willing to let go of those robes that no longer fit you. Crystal quartz, focus. This is number 8. So 8 is infinity. Make sure that you have that sharp vision and that you are focusing on what the end goal is, what the prize is. Don't get stuck by like, oh, there's a tiny obstacle right here. Live in the bigger goal is out there, so keep going. Volcano, which is release. This is number 40, which it adds to just 4, which is our foundation. So yes, shedding, you got to focus, and you got to release anything that is not helping build your foundation. I know this all sounds so simple, and yet life is simple. Or how's it? It's simple, not easy. So yes, like what the advice is simple, but it's not easy to follow. So be willing to keep going and growing. And yes, I have a lot of people argue with me, oh, that's so hard. I'm like, but do you want the end goal? So cave, which is initiation, this is number 4. So you must go within to find your foundation. I know when I first started on this journey, I kept drawing like a woman in a cave, which is kind of like a portal. I don't know how else to say that without saying it without being too appropriate or too adult. But you must go within, go to that place within you to initiate the answers that you need. So a lot of times when we need to grow on our spiritual journey, we have to shed and release and have focus and then go within to figure out what you truly want, don't want, everything. We are a portal, so you have to go within said portal to find the answers that you need. First, though, you must shed those opinions of others that don't fit. You must shed those opinions of yourself that don't fit and be willing to grow and go. Cedar tree, wisdom. Excuse me. Number 5. I'm also thinking as we go through this, like of a situation that came up within my environment recently, and I'll talk about it in a minute. So cedar tree and wisdom is number 5. So 5 is all about cycles, going through the change, releasing anything that is not for us. 5 is like, we need change. If you ever know about life path number 5s, they're like they come to shake the system. I speak from personal. Like, as a life path 5, one of my life paths, like that's, we have multiple numbers that add up for our lives, but I've always been like the innovator, hey, this has to change. So 5 is all about changing the structure, the foundation, and embracing the creation in chaos. So kind of what I want to talk about is I had a situation where I've been working with a woman who I've known for a very long time. She's dear to me, and her and I were in similar situations, and I understand where she's at. I've been there, and I also understand where I'm at and how far I've come and how much I've learned. And she had made a comment the other day, like, I know that this is going to keep repeating until I stop it. And I'm like, if you don't stop it, you're going to reincarnate, because these are life lessons. So she's saying like how she doesn't want to do this, it hurts her heart, and I'm like, I get it, girl, like I've been there. It fucking sucks, but do you want to keep reincarnating? Because if you don't, then you've got to learn these lessons, and you got to put it away now so that you don't have to do this lesson again with that person that you're having a hard time. You don't have to come back next lifetime and do it again. And that's kind of where I left it, because there was a lot more information that was going to go with that. And it also would have triggered cognitive dissonance. And, it's sometimes spoon feeding to people what they need, because hopefully she'll get it and then we'll be able to have different conversations. I'm not so sure, though. Like, that's a situation that I've been working with her for years on as I've gone through my path. And she just isn't there, and I don't know how much time I can spend waiting to help. And I don't spend time waiting to help. It's just like when she pops up, I'm like, okay, well, here's another piece of information, but I can't do the work for you. Like, yes, I know it's hard, but I've had to do it. Like, there are days that you want to give up, but do you want to keep repeating this, or do you want your kids to be safe? Or do you want to have to not learn the lesson and then come back again and reincarnate in another life? I know that's really harsh, and people say, well, it's impossible. It isn't impossible. Like, this life for me has been all about releasing, like, especially the last 3 years. It's like, what karmic contracts are we releasing? What people from our past lives do we need to learn that lesson and say, you know what, this stops here. Anyhow, I'm feeling spicy. Yesterday was another day. All right. Eagle, vision. This is 13. And number 4. So have eagle eye vision and precision when you're building your foundation for, again, foundation. There are 4 walls to each house at the most basic structure. So building your foundation, you must have eagle eye vision. I don't know what else I want or need to say about that right now. Oh, I know what I was going to say. It was like yesterday I woke up and chose violence. I was feeling spicy. I woke up and chose violence. And that's another like morning, like today, like I woke up and chose fire and spice and ice, and feeling a little froggy. I'll try to temper that, though, because, being froggy doesn't always get us what we want and need. And, sometimes you just gotta shine. And tell all the haters to fuck all the way off. Because if I don't trust their life, why would I trust their opinions? Owl, intuition. This is number 28, which is 10 or 1. Trust your intuition. It is the start, the beginning, the cycle of everything. Listen to yourself. Do not let others try to sway you, gaslight you, tell you you're wrong if your intuition feels it's right. Like, if it keeps calling, you must answer it. Regardless of what anyone else thinks, feels, wants, desires. If something keeps calling you, like your heart keeps pulling you, you have got to follow it. Because if you don't listen to your intuition will go away. Because it'll say, like, hey, you didn't listen to me all those other 50 times that I knocked. So now when you need help, I'm not going to answer. I'm going to be quiet. So I love that both of these birds, and birds are logic. Birds are like seeing the bigger picture because they have an eagle eye vision. That is a lesson that had come up with family this week, because I was talking about ancestors, and even myself being an ancestor, I'm like, you can't deny and or starve out your ancestors and expect them to answer the call when you call them. Just like your intuition, you can't ignore your intuition every time you've gotten it and then expect it to show up when you call on it desperately. You've got to cultivate it. You've got to nurture it. You've got to feed it. The same with your ancestors. This came up because there was a lot of disrespect thrown on me, and that was something that I just told someone this week, and that was something that I was trying to help them with, is like helping them learn that if you want your ancestors to come to you, you must nurture them, you must feed them, you must talk to them. But this is someone who denies all of that, and I'm like, it's fine that you deny that, but when you, because people like to do, like, call on their ancestors when they're in trouble and ask them to do really big, heinous shit. Your ancestor's not going to answer your call, or if they do answer your call, when they're sent on that mission, they're going to work against you because you didn't honor them. And that may be too high a level. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense, because it's a message that's been coming up recently within my own family. So, like, yesterday, somebody had said, like, the disrespect that was issued yesterday is like, I'm not going to hang out with you if you address this. I'm like, okay, so I'll shut up, but that means that when you need me, I'm not answering your call. When you need answers, when I was trying to give you the big answers that we need to work on right now, and you told me to shut up, I'm not going to do your work for you. Or if I do the work for you, it's going to work against you because you did not honor my presence, my knowledge, my love, my experience. You said I didn't know shit. So when you call on me and I need you, I'm sorry, I'm too busy getting my nails done. And before you say, oh, that's cruel. No, all the other 50 times I tried to give that person, like, solid advice, and they told me to shut up because they didn't want to hear what I had to say. So now, when they actually need help, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, you're not going to listen to my advice. You're not going to actually use that for good, so I can't. So it happens with ancestors, though, too. Like, I've seen a lot of people out here who don't, like I say, they don't honor their ancestors. They deny that their ancestors even exist. But then when they get in trouble, they want to rally that ancestor to come against me. Well, when the ancestor gets here and they're pissed off and they're confused and they're hungry, and I say, whoa, whoa, whoa. This beef isn't between us. But I listen to what they need, what they want, and I honor them, and I give them space to be able to express their displeasure because they've been ignored. Your ancestor now works for me. And because you starved your ancestor out and you keep thinking that they're going to help you, but you sent them to me on a dummy mission or to hurt me, they're not going to look at you kindly. So we are in spiritual warfare. It is a lot bigger than anyone realizes, but a lot of people are getting in trouble because, like I say, they're only calling on things when they are super angry or you know, want big favors, yet they haven't done the work to get those big favors. It's something I've been learning. I couldn't figure that because a few years ago I drew a lot of heat for something I had done spiritually, except for doing that favor actually gave me favor from ancestors that weren't mine. And I didn't realize, and it's been kind of going along since that time. And like, no, man, like I did the right thing. I did the integral thing. I did the moral thing. And while I got backlash from people that were trying to gaslight me, it gave me different knowledge and protection in the spiritual realm. So, yeah, because this happened with, like, my family likes to use, they like to unearth spirits after the spirits have been laid to rest, and then use them for necromantic warfare. That body, that person, they serve their time. And to have someone be disrespectful enough to use their physical vessel afterwards for problematic things against people that didn't deserve it, like that upsets the ancestors, because it's like, you didn't honor me while I was alive, and now you want to disturb me after I pass, because people will be out there doing graveyard stuff, or they'll be using ashes. It's like, that person, you're disturbing that spirit's peace by using them against their will. They already served their time. They deserve to be at peace. So that's another part where, like, my mother, when he passed, she used his spirit to attack me and cause problems on my path, cause problems in my marriage, cause problems in all that. And again, this is all maybe stuff you don't understand. This is just stuff that I've been through. Well, when I released my father's body, and my father was like, whoa, like, I've been held captive and I released it. Well, now his spirit, his body is free to work freely throughout the universe. So by releasing him and not holding, I didn't hold him to use against anyone else, because I'm like, dude, he served his time. So when I released him, like I say, that released his energy, released his soul, so he wasn't trapped. And then he worked for me, because I honored him, I loved him, I gave him the respect that he deserved in life and in death. I've done that with some others as well, and because I live on plantation land, any spirit that comes to me that's been sent, we have that conversation, and they get released with love. They don't ever have to work for me again, but it creates a different realm. And when I talk about being a shadow walker or being in the crossroads, that is true, because I do have respect in the underworld, and I have respect in the ethereals too. So I walk both realms, always have. Worked in the medical field, there are a lot of things that don't make me squeamish because I worked in the medical field. It's like, I think people misunderstand me or underestimate me, because it's like, oh, like, here's just this girl, like, we can, you know, she's I don't know. Like, people think I'm bubblegum light and love, and I'm like, no, man, I've faced death. I've watched death. I've had to hold people while they were dying, working in the medical field too. So they're not like us. I'm not like everyone else. I understand the cost of warfare. I understand the cost of death. And there are a lot of people out here that have no freaking concept. It's kind of like the politician that's never been to war, but yet he sends everyone else to war. It's because he doesn't have to be there watching the destruction of his actions. And his actions are fueled by greed and money. Well, he doesn't have to look in the eyes as he watches someone he loves the most die. So, I do. I've had to. That's why I don't enjoy carnage and all of the darker side. Like, I don't perpetuate it because I know what the cost of it is. Because I've had to nurse it, I've had to bury it, I've had to love it, I've had to hold it. That is one of the things too, is that when people are dying, it's staying with them to let them know that they're not alone. And people, that's too uncomfortable for people, and they bail out. Like, prime example, okay, so there's a guy who really doesn't value the value of life, and I had to go with him because his dog was sick and he had to put his dog down. And the way he treated that dog when he put that dog down, and he couldn't bear to be there, kind of thing, and he was so squeamish about it, and he literally threw his dog down and stormed out. And I was like, yep, this is the dude that he can handle wielding the gun and hurting other people, but he can't actually face what that looks like. He's so quick to be on the trigger, but that's because he doesn't realize the actual damage that what his actions do. I've had to live with the damage of his actions. I've had to live with the damage of other men who, again, they want to be, tough men, but they don't know what it takes to hold someone while they're dying. So, yeah. And he likes to play in drugs and say that that's, his glory days, and him being a soldier was him being addicted to drugs. And, that's not glorious. That's cowardly. I've held the men who've been to war. You being addicted to drugs makes you such a weak motherfucker. And honestly, I know, because I've battled my own addictions and I've overcome my own addictions without the aid of any medicine. So, I don't know. Maybe I did wake up and choose violence this morning. Violence against violence. I'm tired of violent men having no consequences, repercussions, knowing what the actual collateral damage is to their greed. Okay, fire intensity 15 or 6. So 6 is finding that balance. 6 is man. 6 is how do you realize that the consequence of your actions, your intensity, can create huge collateral damage. That is also a lot of why I don't try to get to the point where I'm out of control, because I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of me. I'm scared of my ancestors. My ancestors don't play around. The people that have tried to hurt me, when I take my hands off of it and I let my ancestors handle it, those bitches have been ready for war for millennia. So when I'm not scared of you, I'm scared of me. And when I warn you not to mess with me, I'm not scared of me. I'm scared of what my ancestors will do, because you'd been warned. You'd been warned by them. You'd been warned by me. You had been warned by other people. You've been warned by the law not to touch me. And when my ancestors handle it, that is an intensity. That's why I don't handle it, because I know that if you were stupid enough to hurt me, then you are more than able to accept the repercussions of your big boy actions. And like I say, my ancestors are coming for you, and they're hungry. And I mean, yeah, I know that that's all maybe big and scary stuff to talk about, yet here we are. And all that jazz. Confirmation, Oak Tree, ancestors, 26, which is 8. This is eternity. This is karma. This is knowing that every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So the people out here saying oh, there's no harm to what I did. Nope. The ancestors are coming for you, because the scales have to be balanced. This is another tricky situation that's come up, is that my family did horrible things to me and I didn't succumb to it. So then they turn around and they try to cover it and be like, oh, well, they tried to unalive me, but it didn't work. So instead of actually being decent human and balancing the scales, oh, well, it didn't, no harm, no foul, there was no victim. Well, no, the things that they've done to be able to make that story stick is insurmountable. So they think like, oh, well, no one was hurt. That's wrong. And you still have to pay for your actions, because every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So, yeah. A lot of people are about to learn the fuck around and find out ancestral spiritual edition, because their bad deeds, they are going to need to be paid for. And the sacrifice, because you can't violate spiritual law, which is you can't violate someone's free will. So they've been violating my free will since the beginning of time, and that violates spiritual law. And me saying, you know what, I'm going to let the ancestors handle it, means that it will be balanced for lifetimes to come, since they couldn't act right. They were warned. And their children, their ancestors, will pay for their bad deeds. Y'all can argue with me and say that's not right. No, man, I've been doing the work. I know the knowledge. Lotus, Resurrection, 22. I love that. 22 is a special number for me. So Lotus, Resurrection, 22, and number 4. My very first spiritual tattoo has a lotus incorporated in it. And the lotus, the beautiful thing about the lotus, it sits in dirty environments during the day and cleans up the environment. And at night, it closes up on itself to heal itself. And I thoroughly identify with that. I've always been in toxic, shitty environments, because what I've been doing is resurrecting. I've been cleaning up the environment and then going within to myself to be able to heal and regenerate myself. So the lotus is a beautiful lesson of regeneration, resurrection, and a lesson that we need to embody in life as well. Be the lotus in your environment. Clean up the toxicity, clean up the toxins where you can, and then make sure you're taking care of yourself so you don't carry that gunk. Rose and Love, which is 33, and 6. So 6 is the number of lovers in the tarot. So Rose and Love, it's how are we embodying that the rose is beautiful, has a beautiful scent, and it always also has thorns to protect itself. When we are beautiful and we are in love, we must also know both sides. Don't be a little prick. I'm just kidding. Be a little prick, because it's how we protect ourselves. Like, people get like, oh, I shouldn't have to protect myself. No, you do. You can be both the beautiful flower and be soft, gentle, smell good, but also have boundaries and say, no, you're not going to pluck me without care, without tending to my beauty, without loving me properly. And the biggest thing is that when we love a flower, we don't cut it and pluck it, we cultivate it so that we can have more flowers down the road. So when you truly love something, don't cut it off, don't pluck it, like, cultivate. Make sure the water is good, make sure the ground is good. Because yes, you can have a bouquet of flowers today, but wouldn't you rather have a whole grove of roses for your family, for your loved ones? Okay, that was a beautiful yet weird little segue into another path. I've had that stupid song in my head all day. Water, lifeblood, 41. This is 5. You have got to go with the flow. Also, water will flow to the point of least resistance. So be willing to keep flowing where you're guided to go in order to create a new path. Water, like a single drop, can carve a whole new path. Keep going. Little by little, keep going. Because eventually, the change is in you, not on you. Like when you're determined and you keep going, you'll create a whole new path in the earth. Stars, navigation, this is 37, which is 10 and 1. It's how are we tapping in to find our way home. Home is not of earth, but we all need to work together and navigate this crazy earth to be able to get home. That's going to take being kinder to each other. That's going to be coming with people with more understanding, compassion, grace, and loving in our heart. Easier said than done, right? It's simple, not easy. Like, treat others as you would want to be treated. That is the first golden rule. Treat others as you would want to be treated. If you don't want people to lie to you, don't lie to them. That's why so many people have gotten cut out of my life, out of my environment, because it's like, you treated me one way, but if I treated you that way, you would flip the fucking table over. And I've watched that so much when I start asking to be treated with compassion, dignity, respect. And instead of them actually, because that's how I treat them or try to, when I ask for it, well, how dare you ask to be treated human? What? I'll just go over here. Because if you can't treat me like you would want to be treated, we can't. All right. Renewal, rain, which is 29 or 11 or 2. Allow the rains, allow the storms to wash away what is no longer for you so you can see clearer. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. So those showers bring forth May flowers. So renewal, new life. So be willing to let the waters of life and tears wash away the path so you can see clearer. Allow the storms to come. All right, 3 more cards, and then we're out on this. Fire with intensity came back out. Angle with vision came back out. So sun, which is faith, that's number 38. Again, breaks out to 11 or 2. So have that faith in yourself and everything else that is all working out for your highest good and greatest intensity. Greatest good. Sorry. Fire, intensity, 15 and 6. Remember to tap into the fire within you to determine what you want and need. That intensity can help us cultivate exactly what we need. I think of Phoenix, how it's like when nothing is working, so you rise from the ashes. If you must, let that intensity help you rise from the ashes and rebirth again. Eagle with vision, which is 13 again and 4. Going back to the foundation. Being able to see not from like what you're in right now. So what I love about Eagle with vision, right? Dude is freaking amazing. And yeah, he soars from great heights, yet apex predator, amazing, can see little things. But that's because he's from a higher viewpoint. He's not on the ground and like looking for food. Because he's just, it's like you can't see the forest through the trees. So eagle eye vision is sometimes zooming out from where you're at to be able to see what it is you need to see in order to move forward. Sometimes, okay, so like with astral projection, like when I'm trying to explain astral projection in life and this as well, it's kind of like you have to pull out and look at it from like a different perspective to be able to focus in, which sounds like so counterproductive. Like, how can I step back and zoom out when everything's like on fire? It's like, no, sometimes you just have to pull back for a moment to be able to collect, get a good lay of the land, and then come back in. It's the same, like I say, with astral projection when people are trying to do it, and it's like, okay, you have to train your mind to pull back and look at you from an outside perspective to be able to see what it is you need. I do a little bit everything. Which reminds me of the Meredith Brooks, like the bitch song. I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother. Like, I'm a little bit of everything all rolled into one. So, I am one of life's little mysteries with a weird little history. And apparently I'm in the rhyming mode today. Whew. Hey, handsome. Yeah. I know better. They ain't shit. They ain't shit, dude. All they can do is drive by and watch. They can't actually do shit. Silly boys. They should have treated me better. Maybe I would have played with them, but they wanted to be dicks. All right, self-care is taking care of ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. Maybe that's the point that we're at right now, is in order to be able to move forward and see the bigger vision, you have to take care of yourself first. Starseed, this is realizing that we are of the earth. We are, how does that saying go? Be part of it, but not of it. So, like, yes, we're interacting here on Earth right now, but we are from different planets. So knowing that we have to make this Earth better, we have to work together, but it's so we can get home. And home being the stars. Home being not so earthbound, I guess. So knowing that you are not from here, yes, it's a place to visit, it's a place to learn lessons, but then it's a place to go home and tell our star family is like, oh man, you wouldn't believe what happened this one time on Earth. And the trolls will try to stop you every time. And they are exactly that, trolls. They don't know how to do what you do. They don't know how to go where you're going. You are the unicorn. You are the exception to the rule, my friend. Okay, well, it popped back out even though I tried putting it back in and reshuffling, so. Gotta love the confirmation. You are the unicorn. You are the one that was meant to come and break everybody out. This was something I said yesterday. I said, why is it always the motherfuckers with no razzle that try to tell me how to dazzle? It's always the trolls that don't have an original thought in their head. They follow everybody else that try to tell me how to conform. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not meant to fit in your box. I am the unicorn. And that's how we're going to get home. It's the trendsetters, the unicorns, the ones that are willing to stand out. They're going to help everybody get home. So if you want to get home faster, instead of hindering us, you should be helping us. Like, if you don't like how Earth is and you want to go home, you should probably be asking, like, hey, how can I help? Where can I fit in where I sit in? Because otherwise, you're going to be stuck here learning your lessons till you're ready to go home. Some of us are here saying like, hey, I know how to get us home. You have to be willing to actually do the work. You can't steal it. You actually have to do the accountable part, do your lessons so that you can get home too. We need all hands on deck to make it work, but I can't babysit and hold your hand when you're trying to steal my ideas and get me to be quiet. Like, we're going home. Stop impeding the journey. Fashion witch. Some of us are trendsetters. We are meant to be paving the way. The oracle, that's because we are given vision. We are given gifts from our past lives. We're given gifts from our ancestors, our starseed ancestors too. That oracle, that information is meant for the highest good of all. The problem is that we do have cult leaders trying to like rig the game in their favor, not realizing that, again, if you cut off a rose, you get it one time. If you cultivate the rose, you'll have roses for life, for your kids for life. So stop following the cult leader that can't see that what they're doing is harming everyone else. So unicorn, again, just being in your unicorn beautiful energy. Yeah. My mother was very cult leader like, and it was like she wanted everything that I had, but I'm like, you can't do what I do because of the path that you chose. And you can't steal what I have because I earned it and learned it. So the oracle, having the vision. Don't shut off your oracle because you don't like what they're saying. Actually listen so that you can get ahead further. Like, silencing the oracle is like having a check engine light on and putting tape over it so you don't see it, and then it starts getting worse and worse and worse until there's smoke pouring out of your car and your car engine dies. When you blind the oracle, you are not assisting yourself or the people you love the most, you're actually putting everyone in grave danger and driving it straight into the ground. So, yeah, I don't know what or anything else to say on that for the moment. I'm going to take a moment and breathe. That was a lot of info that I dropped very quickly. There is more stuff that I do want to speak on. Oh, I know what I wanted to speak on. It has to do with treaties, because that is the problem on like the grand scale. Just like my family kept doing things to make it work in their favor, and they ran out of time. It's kind of like the U.S. government. I know this is controversial and may get me flagged, but they had an 80-year treaty that was signed in 1944 with the aliens and the U.S. government. Like, they had to come correct by 2024, but the government kept thinking like, oh, I can do it better. I'm going to blind the warning system. It's not going to happen the way that they said it's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. They had 80 years to get it correct before the aliens came and said, you know what? You had 80 years, and now that 80 years is up. The irony for that, my mother was born in 1944. So my mother, that's a little convoluted, and I'm still working on those answers every day. Like I say, last night I got some beautiful dreams that dropped in a lot of answers about my childhood that, oh, okay. So like my guides, my ancestors, my Starseed team were working with me last night. But it's, again, the government had 80 years to come correct and be ready for this mission, and they have been fucking around trying to rig the answers in their favor, and their time is up. If anybody knows about Project Looking Glass, which is something that I've been kind of aware of for a hot minute, but Project Looking Glass, that was a secret project that was done, and they put in all these scenarios, and at the end, the answer always came out the same, and it's that love wins. Like, it, no matter how many times they try to manipulate the outcome, the answer is always this. So it's kind of the same concept. No matter how much my mother tried to manipulate the outcome in my life, love would always win over her hatred and her jealousy and her pain. And that's also with humanity. No matter how many times they tried to change the factors on the experiment, when they did Project Looking Glass, it always ended at this point. You don't have to believe me. I would suggest you not completely dig your head in the sand and ignore, because where you sit on the end of it is dependent on what your next move is. And I'm not here to fearmonger. I am here to try and help guide, give information, and help. And then, like I say, people don't like what I have to say and they try to silence me. It's happening within my own family. And I'm like, silencing me doesn't end the outcome of what's going to happen to you. And actually, if you want to make it a better outcome, I suggest you do X, Y, Z, but they don't want to hear that. And I'm like, man, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I tried, but you wanted to silence the check engine light and then wonder why your car, like your head gasket, just blew up. Well, I was over here trying to be like, hey, and then the messages will get louder because, when like your check engine light's on, it's not just the light, because then it starts making funny noises, and then it starts rattling, and then you start seeing smoke, and then it's like, if you would address the issue at that moment, paid attention, done what was needed, you wouldn't have lost your whole car or your Merkaba. That's the other part. It's like when people are going head first in the wrong direction, it's like your body will warn you, hey, I need rest, or hey, I need food, or hey, I need water. But when people don't listen, they just think like, oh, I can keep pushing. Yeah, you keep pushing until your heart gives out. Your body was trying to warn you that, hey, this is not the right way. I've done that also with people I love the most. It's like I try warning them, hey, this is going to end in disaster. Hey, this is, and they don't want to listen, and then they silence me. And then when it ends in disaster and I didn't know, I'm like, hey, you were warned 2 years ago that you were going to do this. You didn't have to listen, but I don't have to help you when you fucking crash out. Because I saw it coming and I warned you. And that's not like I told you so, but that is like, hey, I've had enough experience to know and see what's coming for you. Or I've been given guidance from universe, God, source, everything. Like, there are times I ignored source until it got to the point where it was like, if you don't move now, I'm going to move you. And that's the equivalent of crashing the car from the universe. It's like, if you don't do this, you're crashing out. So I've been hard-headed. I'm still hard-headed, but I also know to follow the signs. Anywho, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get just slightly, we're gonna switch over to love just slightly, which I know love is so, but it has been calling, and that doesn't make sense for me because I don't have any love interests in my life right now, except I do. Like, I can feel them. I can feel the love interests in the background, but they're not actually fully present in the scenario yet. We'll just take that as a confirmation burp. It's weird because I'm like, I know people want to date me, but nobody's brave enough to step forward, or they don't have the offer that I want. That is the other part. Like, people will come forward and it's like, you're offering me crumbs when I need a whole full meal. So let's see if there's any lurkers in the background, what they would want to say. Which somebody said yesterday, and they're like, it's a joke. They're like, oh yeah, I'm lurking for nefarious or malicious intent. I'm like, don't do that. You will get checked real quick by my ancestors if you are lurking and you don't have positive, like, it's not a high vibration. You will get checked. My ancestors don't fucking play because the mission is too big. So anybody that wants to hurt me, like, you're coming against some very angry, powerful forces that love me dearly. I told you I have respect in both the demon realm and I have respect in the ethereal realms. So to fuck with me means that you're going to get corrected either by the dark side or the light side. I am the daughter of both. I walk in duality, and I walk in duality so that I can work with the shadow realm. I always have. I've always been loved by both sides. I know I have guardian demons. I know that scares people because they all want to be of love and light. No, we need both sides. Like, we need people in the mud that can defend us. And when people say, oh, because I actually said this a while ago to somebody, I'm like, I'm loved by both angels and demons. And they got real weirded out. And I was like, no, because you need those demons to be able to check other demons. So when I say I'm loved by demons, that's because I have demons that check other demons because they shouldn't have messed with me. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to pull some love cards. And like I say, I know love. But at the same time, I feel it is in the air. I feel people around. The irony that viewers keep popping in and popping out is not lost on me either. Have some weird little lurkers going on today. And I'm like, huh. So that guy that, he asked for a special request from me, but it didn't feel quite right, and I don't think I was going to get paid on it. It doesn't surprise me that he canceled, because I'm like, yeah, if you're going to come to me incorrect and rob me of my resources, my ancestors will not let that. They'll be like, oh, okay, checkmate, bitch. That's it, bye-bye. Okay, so some of the cards. I get emotional when I think of you. Okay, we're off to a good start. I'm planning on reaching out to you. Okay. And there is so much I want to tell you. Same, boo. There is so much I want to tell you. To my lover, there is so much I want to tell you. there's so much time that we need to catch up for, and I know we're going home, like we're helping with humanity. We've got a long path ahead on that, and we've got a long journey, but goddamn, like we could talk for the next 55 years and still have a million things to tell each other. Yeah, I gave in to temptation. I know, man. You're human. I get it. But you can also come correct. Okay, let's see what else. I want to work things out. Okay. I want to work things out. Rose-colored glasses. Make sure that you are looking at things realistically and taking the steps necessary. Don't just like see everything rosy. And then there was someone interfering in our relationship. I know that for me and what happened in my situation, that is what's to be true. Like I had said earlier, my mom had sent me, my mother, when my father died, she used his spirit to interfere in my love and my family and destroy my life. So I know that these statements are to be true. Okay. I put those cards back in. Let's see what else pops out. And if you can't see, these are 2 decks put together, so they're pretty thick. Even thicker than a normal tarot deck. It's thicker than a Snicker. All right. Oh, what would our lover want to say when they get the balls to do it? If it's a girl, you know, when she gets the... Girls are ballsy. I'm working up the courage to contact you. Okay. That is what your person is doing. They're working up the courage to contact you. If you're my partner, I know I'm scary as shit. I scare myself. And it takes a lot to be able to be my partner. I want to work things out. Okay, well, that came out as a repeater. If I could say anything to the people that I've lost and loved, I want to work things out too. Just because, yeah, there are only certain people. There's only certain people. I have to really love you to ever want to give you a second chance. So if I say I want to work things out with certain people, that says something. Okay. I think the world of you. I abandon people to make myself feel important. There is a third party. Yep. Interference, outside bitches trying to insert themselves in stories that they never had a part in. Although, you know, with third parties, they teach our person lessons that we can't. So, you know, third parties, as much as I hate them, not hate them, but again, they teach our partners things that we can't teach them. Like, there are certain lessons that our partners go through with karmic people, and I'm a will and testament to that too, because I've been a karmic partner and I've also had karmic partners. But there are only some lessons of heartbreak, betrayal, things that third party can teach someone. So while it's never fun having other people insert their will or their nose in your business, they also teach your person lessons that you wouldn't have been able to learn with your person. Hopefully that makes sense. If you ever have questions, we can talk about that. Let's see what other cards are in here. I'm not ready. Well, man, you're going to have to get ready. What you're worried about, that's water under the bridge. You say you're not ready, it's water under the bridge. We've got bigger fish to fry, my love. I can see myself with you in the future. I run away to avoid facing my problems. I know that that's a true statement. This was just a fling. I don't know, baby. Come on home. And I'm afraid of commitment. Tell me about it. I'm afraid of commitment myself. So these are beautiful little love confirmations from the person on your mind. I don't know how else to put that, because I'm like, yeah. We mirror each other too. So like when you feel that way about someone else, if any of these ever resonated, if you feel that way about somebody else, they feel that way about you too. It's a mirror. Our true counterpart is a mirror. That's like the other half of our soul. They feel what you feel. and they're going through the same shit that you're going through. And that's been such a mind fuck. That's been such a mind fuck too. Yeah. Anyhow, the door's open. The weather's nice. The chesmosas are enjoying the door being open and the weather being nice. I'm lucky there hasn't been a cat fight yet, because they do like to do that in front of the door. But actually take a little picture of them like that. These two, so talking about mirroring and the chesmosas, like that's what counterparts look like in this house. They are the mirror to each other. So my house is very much a home of odd relationships and loves and partnerships. One of my dog, who's a big, huge baby, has a support kitten that they absolutely adore and love each other. So, and it's funny because one will be upset, like the other one will comfort, and it's like to see a big, huge dog with a small cat, like finding comfort, solace, and love. Love is possible. Love in this house, love around me is possible. I love when I had trolls and naysayers, and they're like, it's never gonna work, they're never gonna get along. And then like these two sitting at the door, I was told, oh, they'll never get along, they'll always hate each other, it's never gonna work. They cuddle up on the couch together. It took a minute, but we all have to overcome our differences to find love. And love can be found with the most unlikely of people. So, all right. I do just a few more cards from here. Let's see what we have to say. Besides that, I am Lara Jo, SirenSong lover. I just thought of something else. One of the people here in town has a problem with a lawyer that I had a problem with, and they posted about it yesterday, and I was like, girl, call me. There is so much that we could unpack there. But I laughed because they didn't, my family has me not this side on paper, which also makes sense why they work so hard for me not to show up in court, because that would put a bunch of holes in their lives. The other part of it is that they didn't want me to get on the stand and testify because they were using information or evidence that was damning for them. And it was ironic because they're like, the way they use that evidence was saying, they're like, oh, it's self-identifying. So I self-identify as Lara Jo. So they didn't want to use the evidence because I identified myself. And I didn't identify that other party in specifics, which is another funny, but it is in specifics, but it isn't. The evidence that they used was self-identifying. So now, hey man, I'm actually alive. I am Lara Jo. I am SirenSong lover. I do self-identify. So when people come to tell you, oh, no, she isn't here. No, I am. They've been hiding me. They've been silencing me. They've done every dirty trick in the book to make sure that I don't self-identify. But going to court and working with these bad people, because that was the other part. They got real squeamish because they're like, they were trying to bully me and shame me about mental health. And they were trying to bully me and shame me about how I felt. And the thing that I said to my lawyer, because my lawyer definitely was trying to get me not to speak, and he was trying to embarrass me. And when I said to him, I go, yeah, I said that on camera. If you get me up there, I'll say it again. Because I don't have to be quiet about what I went through and experienced. Okay. A few more cards just from the Andromeda Skies deck. This is if you were having a conversation with your lover, or if your conversation was having a lover with you. These are some of the things that would be said so that you guys can heal together. Childhood wounding is affecting my actions Sure is. I feel you. This happens with people that I'm interconnected with. Like, I feel their pain. I feel their sadness. When they drink too much, I feel that too, which I freaking hate because I gave up drinking years ago, and I'm battling inner demons. Ha! Ha! I know, because when these boys are interconnected to me and they drink too much or they're in a bad place, like, I wake up feeling hungover. So I tell people, I'm like, stop doing that because you're making me sick. So I'm battling inner demons, and they are intimidated by you. They sure as fuck should be. I'm a big deal. They are too, though. I think the world of them as much as they think the world of me. So, do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? Let's see what card fell. Okay. The chemistry between us is off the charts. Sure is. It's off the sheets too. I wish I could give you more. Come on, baby. And will you give me a second chance? If you come correct. If you come correct. Yes. You can't shortchange. You can't shortchange. Not if you really want love. Not if you want a chance with me. You can get a second chance, but you got to be correct. Okay. You are the person of my dreams. And childhood wounding is influencing my actions. Well, I know it's hard to work through childhood shit. I know people want to say, oh, I'm broken. Do you want to come back? Do you want love? Do you want your forever person? Well, then you have to be willing to stop being broken and don't ask someone else to fix you. I had to do it. You want to know how to get through your childhood shit? I've become the warrior queen of alchemizing childhood shit and trauma. And it's simple, not easy. It can be done. If I can do this shit, so can you. So don't ever come to me and say I'm too broken. You know what? I've been there and I've also crawled out of it. So your excuses are bullshit. And it's, do you want to reincarnate again or do you want to go home? Do you want to be a part of the mission that goes home? So you don't have to keep going through all of this heartache, pain, betrayals on earth? I mean, you can stay. I don't care, but I'm not going to do the work for you. I can't. I can show you the lesson, I can teach you, but I can't do it for you. You actually have to do it. It's like, one of the excuses, people would say like, you made me drink. No, I didn't. I didn't go and buy that alcohol. I didn't pour it in that cup for you. I didn't put it up to your lips. You did that. So you can't blame me. You actually have to be strong enough to say, I'm not going to drink today. I know that that's a really hard thing, and I struggled with alcohol my whole entire fucking life. And there's a huge story there, and it goes back to childhood. But I finally had to say, I will be brave enough not to drink. My dad couldn't stop drinking. You know who could? Me. And people say, oh, you think you're better because you don't drink. I learned the lesson. Because I want a happy life. Like, my dad did not live a happy life. So you can say, well, it's easy to drink. Well, choose your hard, man. Would you rather be stuck in the loop of toxicity and poisoning your body, or do you want to live a healthier life? I couldn't believe, I know this is going to sound weird. I couldn't believe how much free time I had after I stopped drinking. Because it was like, you know, before it was like, oh, you have to go buy to get alcohol, and then you have to, you know, and then you have to make drinks, and then you have to have all this blood, and then you have to have this, and it's like, when I stopped drinking, you know, because I would get off work, and it's like, oh, pour me a drink. Well, now it's like, I come home, and I'm like, oh, man, I can go sit out in the yard, I can read a book, I can do this, I can do that, instead of picking up the bottle. When I put the bottle down, I found out I had so much freaking free time to do way cooler things, like learning tarot, like tapping into spirituality and divinity. Like, when you drink, that cuts off your channel to your divinity. It cuts off your intuition. So you can drink, but you won't have a good life. If, like I say, if people want to be like, you're high and mighty, no, I learned the lesson. I learned all the benefits of what came with not drinking. And it used to be, before, it was like I wanted to drink on my really bad days, and it was like, instead of being a bad day, like, oh, it'd be nice to have a drink when I go out to lunch, like do brunch. But now I'm like, I don't even want to drink on my good days. I enjoy not having the feelings of drinking alcohol. You can too. It's simple, not easy. You have to determine that you are worthy enough not to drink. Don't be jealous and possessive. Face your demons. And those demons, and that's the other part of it, when you're clouded by alcohol, you do get jealous and possessive. When you're clouded by addictions, you do get jealous and possessive. If you actually put the bottle down and looked at what was going on, you probably wouldn't be jealous. Because, like, that person that you thought was out doing dirty things, like, this is the part with, like, some men in my life. It was like they couldn't put down the bottle and they were accusing me of awful things. But it's like, if you actually put down the bottle and use your eyes, you wouldn't be jealous. You would realize that I'm actually home doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But you listen to third parties and you couldn't put the bottle down, so all you see is rage. When if you open your eyes, you would realize that it's just love. Anywho, okay, secrets and deception. Ooh, love that came. I can't stand the thought of you with someone else. Okay, put down the addictions and you'll realize that I'm not with someone else. And I feel you. Yeah, well, you'll be able to feel me better if you actually put down the bottle. And then you would actually be able to feel me because I would allow you into my personal space. I know it's hard. I know it's scary. I've done it. Whew. I know this is heavy, like, pep talk or heavy love talk or just, you can do it, man. I wish I could fix things between us. You can. You can fix your things with your person. You just have to be willing to do the work and figure out what they need to feel loved and what you need to feel loved. And okay, I love when I picked up these decks and I'm like, I don't feel love around me, but then I'm like, oh, okay. Obstacles and reminiscing. Okay, you are the only one that can get over those obstacles. Be willing to meet the person that you love the most wherever they're at. Okay? If you're going to reminisce about them, at least do the work to have them in your life. I wish you knew how grateful I was to have you. I wish you knew how grateful I am to have you. Okay. One more card. And then I'm going to go empty the tank for a minute, and then I'll come back and do a little more reading. And then I may come back. I mean, I'm going to be in for a while. So, we're here for a long time, not necessarily a good time. Like, we got shit to unpack. But I feel you. Okay, I know, motherfucker. I feel you too. All the time. It's annoying. Okay, I'm going to go take a walk for a minute. I'm going to stretch my legs. I'll come back in a minute. And then we'll get into another deck. Yeah. My chestmosas are funny. Like I say, they're very much the odd couple. Milo's a grumpy old man, and Alcatraz is the feral prison cat that we never thought would find love. And she did. And she does. And she's very jealous and possessive over me. So actually, when I come back, I mean, the weather's too nice at the door, so maybe she won't. But when I come back, I bet you she'll come up and join us and be the co-host and help read for a little bit. So I shall return. Give me a moment. I have a sewing kit, and I need to repair something, so I may even just sit and sew for a minute. But that seems boring, especially because no one's actually talking other than me. So, and I guess I could just talk about life and what's going on while I'm sewing. It's not a lot to sew. I just have to repair a rip in one of my bags that I use for my spiritual stuff. Anyway, I talk a lot. All right, I'll be back. Hi, Azara. It's been a busy day. It's been a lot of information coming around. You just missed. I don't know if you were in. I was doing a little mushy talk. We had some love cards out. We're out of that now. I reset myself. We're good. No more love for right now. Not like that anyway. Maybe it will be in a minute. I'll pull out a different deck. Anyway, I hope it was a good night for you. It was, I was very active in the dream world. Okay. So you saw me, like, get all mushy for a fucking second. It doesn't happen very often that I truly get mushy like that. Like, I don't know if you notice, I don't really talk about love too much, or my path, or my partner. I carry it, but I don't really like to talk about it much, so that was like a brief little rare insight into, yeah, I do believe in love. I have real feelings for people. I know that's hard to believe. Ow! Ooh. Alcatraz. Remember how I said Alcatraz was going to come on up? If she could get away from the door, she was going to come on up. And she did not. I did not lie. I am going to flip up my shirt so it isn't quite so obvious what it says, because it's not really appropriate. But it just got a little warm in here. So I had like weird dreams as far as like, I had a lot of childhood information come up last night, like back-to-back dreams. And I was like, oh shit. So I spent a lot of last night dreaming and journaling about some childhood shit that needed to be unpacked and addressed. And I was like, oh. So, you know, as much as people try to hide information from me, I'm like, I get info. You know, tuned in, tapped in, turned on to source. Just like how I predicted, like, Alcatraz was going to do what she did. And she did not lie. I don't know what it is. I think it's like when you and I interact, she gets very territorial, which is okay, but it's kind of funny. I do have a masculine energy over me that's very protective and territorial, and I'm like, bro, unless you're actually going to be in my environment, you know, you don't have room to do what you're doing. Like, you want to be possessive, but you don't ever actually show up. It's kind of funny because I've experienced it. Oh, I'm sorry, my love. It was the weirdest shit, and I wasn't the only one that experienced it. But I was doing a sound healing with one of my former associates. And this is a girl cat. But she has the masculine embodiment, which is super funny on my journey too, because I'm obviously a girl, but I'm masculine, like I'm more divine masculine than I am feminine. So that's why it's also funny when I get kind of mushy, because I'm like, I'm more like a dude in a lot of ways. So her being a girl, but also being very masculine is funny. Yeah, no, I have primarily male animals. I have four male animals and 2 female animals, and our male animals are female, like spiritual, and the female cats are male. So no, but that's how the humans are too. Like, us girls are the divine masculines and the boys are the divine feminines. And I'm over here like, why the fuck about everything about this planet does it have to be backwards? So yeah, no, I have a mixture of both. And like I say, the girls are attached to the boys energetically, so it's something. My girls are spicy tamales and they do fight. And I love that for us. I don't know what else I was going to say about all that. Oh, okay, so I was doing that sound session and it was just girls in the establishment that I was in. And this was someone that I had known well, and we had been working together well, and she knew my situation. And we were in the middle of a sound session. It was quiet as shit in the facility, And then a man walked in, and the girl and I were in our session, and then all of a sudden, like, this very oppressive masculine energy washed over the whole room. She's like, what was that? Because it was very, like, noticeable and marked. And I was like, oh, that was my divine masculine hearing another man in the building and all of a sudden getting possessive and territorial over my energy. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? So when I say I have a masculine that is very possessive and he don't like people fucking with me, that's not a lie. Like, other people have experienced it too, because they will feel like this aggressive masculine energy wash over, and I'm like, yep, that's so-and-so who has FOMO but who's also trying to protect me. So it's weird. Hello, I love that we just got rated. Hello, I am Lara Joe. Come on in, let's go. God damn, it's a good day. Hello. All right, I'm going to pull from the Tea Leaf Oracle. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for rating me. Invisible Audience and Latte Mama. Thank you. I love it. Let's grow our freaking community. Hello. Marin Dryad. I am Lara Joe. Let's see what we got in the energy. Not. There have been unsuccessful plans. That's okay. Let's see what other energy information we need off of that. All right. Desk. Pay attention to your work. All right. So something about our work has been unsuccessful. That's okay. That just means we go back to the drawing board. We figure it out from there. How are you guys? Nice to meet you. Come on in. I'm a little bit of a different vibe, but my tribe's wild and we're cool as hell. So come on in. Rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Be careful about who's in the energy, who's in the environment. Yes. Hello. Come on in. Peacock, beware of great pride. Ooh, goddamn. That is heavy. Guys, if you're a guy and you're trying to step to a woman, be careful of your pride. If you're a girl, be careful of the prideful men, or be careful of your own pride. Let's see what else. And whoever's new to my channel, to my vibe, I have like so many different decks. I have so many different tools I utilize. I do sound therapy. I do Reiki therapy. I do womb healing. We talk about life, love, everything in between. We talk about all the hard shit. I cry. I release, so that everybody else can cry and release too. I love Guten Tag. Hello. Gong, an exciting event. You know what? That's, I think, the second raid I've ever gotten. The first time I got a raid, I was super scared, but it excites me. All right. Now I sound like the freaking dog from Coming to America. Ring, a marriage will take place, either a romantic or business. All right, we're having business offers. We're having love offers come in. You have got to be careful. Make sure you're not being too prideful. Make sure they're not too prideful. All right. Angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. That is one thing I've said. I'm like, for the next person that comes in, like, God's going to have to sit on my bed and we're going to have to talk about whether that person is truly for me or not. Yet, if you're listening to your guides, your angels, they will give you the 411. Be willing to listen. All right, Ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. It's okay to be stubborn and aggressive. Just, be willing to also listen to what the other person has to say. All right. Let's see what else. All right. My phone's going crazy too. That's because I got a lot of bill collectors calling. I got a lot of bills. And that's a whole freaking story. But my phone's going crazy. Rainbow, the most difficult part of a situation is over. The sun will come out again tomorrow. If we were actually outside in the yard, you would be able to see it. Just went from rainy to the sun. Just came the freak out. Which actually, I'll turn that in a minute. Money will be coming to you. Yes, the hardest part is over. Money is coming. Let's The sun, oh, it just kind of dimmed a little, but the sun just came out. If you can see, I've got a chesmosa. Hello, Cuddly Deprin. My chesmosas, my coworkers, my other readers are guarding the door. But the sun just came out. The sun just hit again. But, you know, we take the sunny days. We know that the days are over, and we take the sunny days, and we do what we can. Money's coming. Money's coming. The hardest part's over. Be willing to pick yourself back up again. Cat, a two-faced friend. Watch your circle. The two-faced friends. You got to watch them. All right. Let's see if there's any other. All right. Cuddly Deprin, how is your day? Invisible audience, if you're in, how is your day? How's it going out there in the world for you? We're just joining a vibe. I started off this I started off the read a little upset earlier because I had somebody that asked me to go out of their way to do something for them, and I knew they weren't going to compensate me, and then they didn't show up. So it's like, you asked me to accommodate you specially, and then you didn't compensate me, and then you stood me up. And I'm like, that is about the most disrespectful fucking thing you could do. Especially because, like, my time is precious, my time is finite, my knowledge is valuable. They wanted free knowledge. I'm like, knowledge is not free. You don't realize what I had to pay to be able to have this knowledge. It's a lot. Frying pan, trouble and accusations. Oopsies. All right. We may be on to something, Claw. Be careful. Do not take risks. So when there's accusations coming out, be careful. Do not get risky like that. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths are opening up. So right now, as we are navigating, you just have to be cautious. You have to pay attention. There is success. There is money coming. And again, the hardest days are over. All right. Let me see. Let's change vibes. Let's change decks. We're going to go into... I kind of want to go back into the love cards that I was reading from, although that kind of got me a little mushy. Anyway, we'll pull from a different lover oracle deck. The other ones I had were the Andromeda Sky. This is a different deck. I love both, and I switch between both because they each have different messages, and each person that comes in has a different message, vibe, anything. So sometimes different cards are called for different people. I need to hold back my true feelings for you. And I don't want to be who I used to be. You deserve better. Okay. So how somebody's feeling right now, they want to come toward you, but they need to come correct first. And that's a conversation I've been having with and about and for people, is that if you're going to come into my life, you either need to sit in where you fit in, but you can't come in and then create problems for me. Like, if you're coming in, come in correct. So people may be hiding how they feel about you for right now, because they don't know how to express themselves, or they're too scared, and we can't hang out with people that are too scared. I can't handle your love. Well, man, if you want me, you have to be able to handle my love. It's intense. It's transformative. My energy is out of this world. If you want to be with me, you've got to be made of sterner stuff than the Cowardly Lion. I don't know where to start. Start with hello. Start with hiya. That's how you get to know me, is by saying hi, because then we build a rapport. We build a relationship. We have reciprocal energy, which I am a girl about reciprocity. You treat me right, and I will make you a feast. You treat me wrong, so, don't know where to start. Say hello. Okay. All right. Let's see what other info we got in here. Ooh. Okay. I am the man. Act like it. Step up. Step up. I am the man. We talked about ego and pride. No one understands me but you. That is true. There are some people that they understand you really well. I did have that with my ex-boyfriend. I understood him really well and we could communicate telepathically, especially when we were in rough situations where we need to be quiet. So that was also part of it. I did understand him. I did understand when he got scared and ran because my emotions are intense and loving me is intense. I know why he did it, but it also made me sad because I was like, I know he's awesome. He just couldn't see it. I am scared of rejection, and I'm obsessed with you. Goddamn lurkers. That's just me being surly and sassy. All right, let's see if there's anything else in here. And then we'll change decks, I think. Okay, I wish I could understand you. The first step to doing that is to talking to me. If people want to understand me or they want to know, you really just have to ask. Whether people want to know, I tell them, like, if you want to understand me, ask me. Don't try to guess. Don't try to study me because you'll be lost every time. I am Pandora's box. I am literally always a mystery and I'm always evolving. You could spend, if you were my partner, we could spend the next 50 years together and you probably would never completely understand me or my heart because I am an enigma. Oh, I'm sorry, Badger. I didn't mean to scare you, boo. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was really loud. I am an enigma. But I'm always willing to share and I'm always willing to teach and I'm always willing to grow with others. Yeah. Okay, we're going to pull from the Everyday Tarot. On the bottom is the Emperor. So this is very Aries energy. We're marching forth. We know what we want. Be careful, Aries. You can be prideful and stubborn and miss out on great opportunities because you refuse to listen to what that person had to tell you. I've been having this happen a lot with Aries recently. I deal with a lot of very hard-headed Aries and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to help you. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. You want to argue about how I'm right, but then you don't listen to the advice. Like, you're only hurting yourself. So don't be so stubborn that you miss what people are trying to do to help you. I know that's kind of I have, like I say, some Aries in my life, and they know I'm right, but then they want to fight and argue because they're Aries and they're stubborn. They're bullheaded. But I'm also like, I'm not trying to hurt you, man. I'm trying to help you and get you through this a lot faster and easier if you would just stop fighting. Stop being so Mars at the moment. Okay, 10 of Swords. We've had betrayals, backstabbing. All 10 swords have been in our back. You have to get up. You have to keep moving. Yes, it sucks, but take all of those swords out of your back and move on. Say, you know what, no more to this. God damn. Okay. I know, I've got a foul mouth. The High Priestess and the Magician out here together. So this is beautiful, beautiful counterpart energy. Your counterpart is just as strong and magical as you. You both use everything in your environment to make everything work out for you. Like the Magician and the High Priestess, they get a bad rap because we were called like the master manipulators. No, it literally is taking every element in your environment, the light, the dark, the air, the fire, earth, water, and spirit, and making it your best life. So this is a beautiful counterpart energy. Like your counterpart is just as strong and just as magical as you. So be willing to step away from that heartbreak in order to find your partner. Ace of Cups, love offer. We're bringing in that Ace of Cups, that financial. Well, love and money are the same vibration. So when our love life is good, our money is good, and vice versa. When our money is good, our love life is good. It works when our love life is bad, our money is bad. And you can fight me on that all you want, but sit back and think about it just a little bit. You don't ever you can disagree with what I say, but at least maybe. Yes, I'm glad. The rain just came back a little bit. So, and we had another partner step to the door. Yeah, you can fight on what I say, but at least take it into consideration and see if I have like a kernel of truth. So you don't necessarily have to be like, oh yeah, that bitch is right. Although a lot of times I am. And it happens a lot of times where it's like, how did you know that? Are you in my house watching you? And I'm like, no, just intuitively it comes, or I know, or whatever. King of Swords, using your decisive energy. This is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, masculine. You don't tolerate bullshit. Your cutoff game is strong. Stand on that. Because if you want love, you have to be willing to cut out anything that is not supporting that vision and that love. I love rain. I love a little bit both, Zara. So, like, I mean, I really am a duality girl. King of Cups. Okay, so we've got King of Swords. We've got King of Cups. So, sitting in that Pisces. Why do I do that every time I see the King of Cups? I do it every time I see the King of Cups, but that's... I have a lot of King of Cups in my life, so it's always confusing when you hear King of Cups, because I'm like, that's about 3 different motherfuckers, and then if they use a specific initial, I'm like, that's about 3 different motherfuckers. So King of Cups, this is sitting in that beautiful embodiment, knowing the emotions that you want, that you love, that you're building for. So, yeah. This is a beautiful energy when you start sitting, and there's so much masculine energy. So Emperor, King of Swords, King of Cups, we've got the Magician, and we have the High Priestess. Like, as a masculine, you have got to be able to embody all of those elements. As a feminine, you have to be able to embody all of those elements. That's how you become the OG goat in your life. Zyra, it's that whole, like, yes, we get sun, we use the elements that come from that. We also love rain. When rain comes, we know that is... I'm doing a collective right up in here, so anything that fits, it fits. If it does not apply, let it fly. So come on in for a good time. We talk about a bunch of different everything. Life experience. Sometimes we do sound work. So right now I'm doing general collectives. If you want to do like an actual read specific to you, that is paid, and that's done not here. We do that elsewhere. Come on in. See if you like my vibe. If you do, join my tribe. Say hello. Yeah. Anyway, so Zyra, going back to that, because I see things, I have to address it before that gets pushed off into the back. It's knowing when the rain comes to dance in it, play in it, stick your tongue out, enjoy it, and then when the sun is here, utilizing that too. So when we look at all of this very masculine energy, like I say, Emperor, King of Cups, King of Swords, Magician, it's knowing like you have got to embody and utilize and love all of those elements to live the biggest life, the best life. And once you start embodying that, you really are the OG of your life. Like when you can sit in your embodiment of your emotions being solid and right, you're getting somewhere. And we can also look at that as the King of Cups and the King of Swords, and then we're building to the Emperor by being our own magician. Like the Emperor is like, they live their own life. They know what they want. They're decisive. They're filled with action. They've got everything. Anywho, let's see what other information we have that may want to come out. And also, guys, remember that the energy is fluid. What's right now may not be what happens 5 minutes from now. So you have got to be willing to dynamically watch what's going on and pivot with it. 2 of Swords, we're at a stalemate with something in our life. We have got to be willing to say, you know what, I don't like 2 of Swords. When you're like, I don't know which way to go, I've got the blindfold on my eyes, what do you want? End goal. Don't focus on what the thing is right now in front of you. Ultimately, if you want, where'd it go? Ace of Cups. It's kind of like when you're doing an obstacle. Like if you were skiing down the snow. So let's look at the 2 of Swords. If you're skiing down a slope, and if you focus on what's the end goal, if you can see the end goal, all of the trees that are in the way, you don't say like, oh, there's a tree. But if you do Two of Swords, you say, I'm not going to allow anything to get between me and the end goal. Those trees, those obstacles will blur out, and all you will see is the end goal. So make sure when you're looking at what's going on, you are saying, yes, I know that there's obstacles, but at the end of the day, this is what it looks like. And for me, that's, I've done a lot of that too, is like, yes, there's so many obstacles, there's so much in the way right now, but I know in my heart of hearts, the end goal is this. So I'm going to be willing to do the hard obstacle course, and yeah, I may get bumped up, I may get bruised, I may fall, but I know that I'm getting to the end. So you have to do that too. You have to be decisive and say, you know what, and cut out anything that is not for you. Don't debate about it. Just be like, this is not getting me to the end of that slope, so I can't focus on that. And hopefully that makes some sense. And maybe it was too wordy or I lost you guys, but that's okay too. All right, Two of Wands. Okay. So Five of Cups. Five of Cups, we've been left out in the emotional cold. We're bereft. We're like, oh, man, my feelings, my emotions, they weren't valued. They weren't, taken into consideration. Well, no, that means you've still got Two Cups. You can still pick up and rebuild. Be willing to move on. Be willing to ask for change. Five is all about change. How do we ask for more and start doing better? Two of Wands, we will balance our passions and our money. So be willing to look at what you need to get what you want. Say, you know what? Yeah, it sucked that they didn't include me. It sucked that they kicked over my cup and poured out my love. I can rebuild without them. Okay? Woo! Okay. I got a few. I have a cat as well. Like, he decided that he wanted to become a reader for the day. So, the void decided to come help us read for a moment. All right. That's a cool freaking name. Sigils of the Elder Gods. Love it. Because when people try to throw shit at me, and I'm like, the God that you pray to is an infant. Like, call me when you scream with old gods. Call me when you're feeding the old gods, not this Christian Bible version. Like when you're speaking in tongues with the Sumerian gods or the Egyptian gods, or then we can talk about how powerful your God is. Not saying that the God of the Bible isn't powerful, but like I say, some of these I'm like, you are believing in infantile information and knowledge, and that's okay. I'm glad you believe in something. But, okay. I know that was a weird segue. Anyway, Nine of Swords. It's releasing ourselves from the mental imprisonment. Probably just what I just mentally did there with, like, Christianity. It's like, you know what? That's cute. Like, that guy you pray to, like, he's got his faults and he's young, but how are you tapping into that old, ancient, primordial wisdom? Temperance is using balance. We're using balance to bring in what we want. Seven of Pentacles. We have been sowing our seeds. We've made choices. We've made options. It is... Okay, that's a little awkward, sir. The void likes to bite and lick, and that's what he just licked my stomach, and I'm like, no, that's weird. Don't do that. He also likes to lick toes, which always weirds me out because I don't like things touching my toes, and my cat will lick my toe, and I'm like, okay, sidetrack. Seven of Pentacles. If you can't tell, I'm a neurospicy ADHD kid, so if I get sidetracked, it's my brain being like, hey. Seven of Pentacles, you've been sowing your seeds. You need to determine, like, okay, this is for me, this isn't for me. The Moon, there's been secrets, but we need the Moon. We need the Moon as much to grow as we need the Sun. We need to be willing to dive into those deeper, murkier waters. So Moon being a very Piscean energy, there's lots of secrets, and that's okay. Yeah, I mean, Zyra, okay, I don't know which part of it, the ADHD or the cat licking my toes, was funny. I mean, they're both kind of funny and they're both kind of true. And if it doesn't explain my ADHD too, where I'll be in the middle of doing something really intense, and then my cat will be like, I mean, he's doing it now, like he just licked my hand because I'm kind of holding his chest, but I'm like, ever wonder why I have ADHD? It's because I have 6 freaking animals. I can't, oh, yeah, no, and you know what, I don't let people in my house, except for my children, and, occasionally I'll let a man in, very rarely and for very short amounts of time, and that's like a special occasion. That's not normal. But so my one hates her feet, hates having people touch her feet, and this little motherfucker, he does it every time. He licks her toes too, and he's like, ah, ah. I'm like, I don't know what it is. Like, this cat's trying to desensitize you to your traumas by licking your toe, like, and he's a cat. So I don't know. Weird, like Abel's a weird little healing helper as well. Yeah. And I love to talk about the boys. I love to talk about that story, but I had just moved into my house and shit was really hard, and I didn't know how I was going to do what I needed to do. And the boys didn't even weigh 4 pounds between the two of them when I adopted him. Like, Abel was, I think, 2.4 pounds, and Kane was 1.6. Like, they literally are like night and day. They help each other. But I was having a hard time. I didn't know how the hell I was going to do what I needed to do, and I was freaking out, and it literally took my cats, all 4 pounds of them, each was on my, like, they had clawed my legs. I, like, fell down to the ground because I was so, like, dramatic and stressed out. And they each got on my back. Like, I was down on the ground in, like, kind of a child's pose. And they each got on my back as I just cried. I was like, if that isn't how powerful, God will send you 2 cats that don't even weigh 4 pounds to bring you to your knees to cry and pray. And I don't like saying, I mean, I say God, but that's like unanimous for me with like universal source creator. So we fit that wherever it sits. But again, like, the divine will use whatever tool within their environment to help heal you and to also bring you to your knees. So that's always I'm like, yeah, no, I was reduced to a bawling pile of tears praying to God on the floor because of 4 pounds of cat. I know that's silly, but when you have it happen, you're like, shit, God, universe, source will talk to you in any way that it can. And sometimes it really does take 4 pounds of fluff to make you realize how loved you are, B, anything can be your teacher. Anything can be your guide. Anything can teach you about love. So don't ever doubt the power of the universe or cats or anything. So, yeah. Also, though, weird side note, I think I'm about done in this deck. Because I had a black kitty that, she was my first ever female kitty that I'd ever had. And we didn't have a lot of cats growing up. I had one cat, and he was mean as fuck. Like, I have PTSD from that cat, but that's a whole different story for a different day. When I had adopted her, I was very protective over her, and then due to spell work, and we talked about this, she passed. And it also worked in the fact that when I was talking to a dude and he was being like shady and sneaky as shit, I was like, you don't realize that my cats protect me in the astral realm. So if people are out here dreaming about black female cats that are lurking and stalking them in their dream realm, I'm like, yeah, that's because my ancestors are coming for you. You may have a heart attack in the dream realm because you fucked around and found out with me, and my ancestors come in for you. So them helping Mango cross over was probably about the dumbest shit they could do, because now I do have a guardian in the spiritual realm to whoop some ass. And that cat, she was gorgeous, black, sleek. She looked like a little mini panther. Yeah, I know what she's doing in the astral. She's at least knocking over some people's shit in their room. Maybe that sounds whatever, but that was another part when I got really sad after she had passed, and it was like, I would dream about the part in the, like, where I laid her body down, when I was having a really hard time and I was missing her and I wasn't able to connect. I would dream about, like, astrally, I would, like, astrally separate and then go to the section of where I laid her down, and then we would astral travel together. So it was kind of like, even though I miss my kitty and even though I would do anything to have her this side, I at least know she's my cosmic kitty and we astral together, and that's something too. Anyway, that was okay. Let's see. I may and when Mango passed away, then I adopted Alcatraz, which Alcatraz is, it was a rough go with that girl when we first started. Anyhow. All right, I think I'm out of this deck. All right, so Temperance. All right, Temperance, having that patience, that balance. Yeah, and then the Moon, there's been secrets. There's been some things going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing. And the Hermit is going within. We have our own light to be able to find the way home. So the Hermit sometimes is tapping in with the kitties that we have in the astral and using that as guidance to help us travel the world. So, yeah. It was, I do have two cats. I do have two cats in the astral too. Like, I have Mango and then I have Lady Gaga, which Lady Gaga was, she was the outdoor kitty and she's very much Hecate. So I know she's out protecting the crossroads. And I know she's protecting the house because she was the embodiment of Hecate. And then Mango was, I feel like she was more Nefertiti. Like she, and like Pandora. So like those two kitties were kind of different spiritual guidance and different spiritual protection. And I know people are probably like, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm like, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you're really, intuitive and in touch with the spiritual realm, you know. And you accept that guidance and stuff when you get it. I am curious as to what that phone call was. Okay, I got a bunch of phone calls apparently. Oh. Bill collector. I said bill collector. They've been hot and heavy all day. And I don't have the money to pay them. And that's part of a bigger story. Like, yeah, so if you'd like to donate to my ministry, it's always greatly appreciated. That can be done. SirenSong Lover, Cash App. It's Siren, capital S, Song, capital S, Lover, capital L. We're going to pull into a different deck for just a moment. Still in the tarot, but I have a million decks. This is just like a tiny little sample of all the decks I have. So if you ever want to do a reading with me, it's funny because I have a million decks, but intuitively I will pull out like the deck that is needed for you. Zyra can attest to that because I do have at least 2 different decks I've pulled out on his behalf that it was like, this was made like a glove for you for this reading. Okay, so Temperance, love that it came out as a repeater. Temperance, Sagittarius energy, having to use patience, balance. They're known as the wounded healer because they are here to do big missions. 4 of Swords, having to rest after betrayals. That's like we have 4 swords. We're sleeping on swords. We need to rest and remove ourselves from the situations that are robbing us of our mental peace. Let's see what else. Okay, 7 of Swords. So 7 of Swords, this is deception, betrayal, this is lying. Too many people in the kitchen, too many lies, needing to move away from it. Okay, well that one kind of stuck on the bottom and popped back out again. We'll put it back in, we'll see. Okay. The Empress. Once you start moving away from the things that rob you of peace, the people that rob you of peace, you will be able to have everything that you want, need, desire, and love. So, it's hard to let go of people, places, things, but ultimately it's like, is this for the highest good? Because when we let go of people, places, things, this is something I learned personally. The Hierophant. Okay, I love that the Hierophant and the Empress came out. So the Empress is like sitting in that female embodiment of like, I have everything I want, need, desire, like I'm emotionally fulfilled. The Hierophant is the higher knowledge. This is Taurus energy. This is the other side of Venus. So it's having that knowledge to bring in what you need from God, from source, from divinity. I don't remember what else I was going to talk about there, and that's okay. That's also why my ADHD, if I see something, I address it right then, because then I'll forget. Also means if I'm going to say something later, sometimes I forget. And then we go, oh, you know what? That didn't need to be talked about anyway, I guess. Yeah. I guess it's choose your hard. Like, yes, sobriety is hard, but letting your body be torn apart by addiction is harder. This is, okay, Mother of Swords. So this is, hold on. Mother of Swords is Aries, or Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Sorry, the Chessmoses just had a little fight, and it was really freaking funny. Especially because Milo's kind of roly-poly, but he doesn't take shit from everybody. So that was actually kind of funny. I was like, oh, I don't know what happened there, but cat fight. Okay, 2 wands, balancing our passion with our earth realm. 8 of Swords. You've got to release yourself from the mental imprisonment. Okay, so what I was saying, choose your hard. It's like, yes, addiction's hard, but do you want to give up addiction and have the chance at living a better life? Or do you want to keep enabling that addiction and then deal with the fallout that comes later? Because you're going to have to deal with that eventually. So do you do it now or do you do it down the road? I'm not saying you have to, like, that's the other part. On the spiritual journey, like, there were points where I catch myself spiritual bypassing, and it's like, can you call attention to it? Like when I was drinking, and maybe I was like drinking to numb, and that's another part, is we go in cycles. Like, we'll go through a lot of stuff, and then we do need a point to like rest, and we kind of numb out. But in spiritual bypassing, or in that, can you recognize that you're doing it, and can you let it be minimal and then improve again? I think that's also a big part that people miss, is like, if you're saying, like, if you're doing sobriety, and it's okay to slip up, you're human, but it's like, do you stay in that spiral or that spin forever? So we're not expecting you to be perfect. We're expecting you to be better than you were yesterday. Okay, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do it all today. Were you a better version of yourself than you were yesterday? That's all we're asking for. You don't have to compete against anybody. You have to compete against yourself. You have to compete against the version of you yesterday. Are you better than that? If you aren't, that's fine. We can always correct, and we can always move forward, and we can always do better when we know better, when you're willing to address it. So, yeah, I know that was can we learn? Can we grow? Can we expand? Can we evolve? This had come up because, like I say, one of my friends I've been working with for a hot minute, and she keeps saying, oh, I can't do it, it's too hard, I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, I can show you it can be done, because the seat that you're sitting in, I've gotten up out of, and I've gone through all the hard shit, and yeah, this is going to happen, but it's worth it. Like, when she says to me, because she's in a situation, and again, I was in this situation too, but she's echoed me. I said, if I stayed there, I would have died. And I would rather take the chance of choosing the hard and have a shot at living a better life. So if I had stayed in that situation, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys today. I would have been dead. Either from alcohol addiction or depression or my heart would have given out, or he would have ended me at his own hands. And she's echoed to me that for years. Like, I know I'm going to die here. I'm like, then be brave enough to and do the fucking hard thing. No matter who and what you lose, be brave enough to live for you. Be brave enough to love for you. Because you are worthy of love. You are worthy of having a good life. Your son is worthy of having a good life. And if we don't learn it in this lifetime, we reincarnate. Do you want to not do the hard thing and go today and then have to turn right back around and reincarnate? Or do you want to do the hard thing even though you're scared shitless and not have to come back for all of this shit to learn your lessons? I know that's harsh and you may not understand it or believe it, but if you know, you know. Like me, I go, God, I really don't want to do this. But then I'm like, I ain't coming back to this crackpot earth. Like, we're getting the fuck out of here. So that person that I'm scared of or that I don't like, I'm going to do that thing with them because I don't want to face them again in another life. Okay, there's a cat under the couch now that just headbutted the couch. That's fun. Okay. You know, sometimes we go, is that a cat or is that a ghost? I live on haunted plantation land, so is that a cat or is that a ghost? Okay, Mother of Swords. Again, just sitting in that I don't care what your feelings are. Fuck your feelings. I'm putting me first. Like, Mother of Swords, Queen of Swords, we get a bad rep. But it's like, you're not going to ruin my good time by being a jackass. So be willing to put yourself first. Queen of Swords is prime about that. Okay, so we're dealing with Knight of Cups, someone who is not in their full embodiment of emotions and being stable. We cannot do that. So cut off anybody that doesn't have a full offer for you. Especially if you're a Queen of Swords, your time is valuable, you're precious. Don't let someone come in and lowball you with emotional offers that do not fit. Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. So we are bringing in the jackpot. Don't let someone who doesn't know the thing about love steal your Ace of Pentacles, steal your happiness, steal your abundance and your love. I guess that's yeah. And the Chariot. So Cancer energy, we are moving rapidly forward. We're decisive. We're emotionally balanced. We're like, okay, yep, I got you. I got this. I know what I want. Whew. And then the Fool. The Fool is saying, okay, so this goes right back to how I said, like, choose your hard. The Fool is like, I don't know if this path is going to work, but I know that path that I've been on isn't working. So the Fool is saying, I don't care. I'm stepping out. And yeah, I may not have a clue, and everybody's calling me stupid, but the Fool is saying, I'm choosing my heart. I'm choosing my own path. You're willing to try something new and go out on your own path, even if you don't see the path ahead of you, even if no one else is joining you, even if everybody says you're crazy. This was another point that I got to with my ex and my family, where he's like, well, your way doesn't work. I was like, you didn't even try my way, first off. And second off, the way we were trying it was the old school way that everybody had done for thousands of years before us. And it wasn't working for them. It isn't working for me. I am willing and brave enough to step out on the path and say, I know you guys have done it this way. It doesn't work for me. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to survive, but it's better than staying here. I know what that looks like, and that isn't good. So be brave enough. If you have questions, ask. Like, I've been doing it. I saw everybody doing that same old thing, and I'm like, you know what? Nope. We're gonna pivot. And again, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but it's better than staying here and knowing what the certain death is. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, that was some tough love. Okay, so Page of Pentacles. We got to watch how those old financial patterns are holding us captive, okay? So that's Earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We got to watch those patterns and make sure we are not slipping into old patterns and also not being irresponsible. I'm going to change decks again. We're going to pull into the spirit animal oracle. Let me take a sip. That is the other hard part. If everything's going wrong and it's really hard, take 30 seconds. Breathe, rest, drink water, meditate. 30 seconds just to... When it's really hard, it's really stressful, you don't know what to do, take 30 seconds. Just take a 30-second break. I love to tell people, like, imagine like you're taking your worries and you're putting them on the floor for it to be transmuted by the universe. And once you put those worries down and you breathe, you won't ever want to put them back on your back fully like you did. So be willing to take that weight metaphorically. Like, imagine taking boulders off of your shoulders and putting them on the floor to be alchemized. Because you won't want to pick up those really heavy boulders again. You can't. You may pick up some of them to continue on your journey, but you'll start saying, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need that person that makes me feel sad. I don't need to keep going to this place that makes me feel ick. Give your worries up to the universe. I do that all the time. Like, I don't know how to handle this, but I'm going to give it to the universe and they'll be able to give me what I need. I should be out in the yard right now doing some energy clearing, but that'll come later. I've got some other matters to attend to today. Seahorse spirit, watch and wait, which is 53 and 8. So watch and wait and see how the karmic wheel spins. And then 34, hummingbird spirit, be here now. This is number 34, so it's 7. The options. We create in the now. We don't create from the past. We don't create and we don't know what the future brings. It's the here and now, the decisions, the choices, the options that you make. So, which was just such a weird little confirmation because of what I was thinking about right now. I was like, oh, okay, Spirit's got hands. She's talking to us. He's talking to us. Coyote spirit, trust in divine timing. Or just, sorry. No. Trust in divine detours is actually what it says. It's number 16. It goes to 7 again. So it's like the options and the choices. And you're right where you need to be, right when you need to be there. Like, people forget about that all the time. You are right where you need to be when you need to be there. Like, the next step can't happen without this step being completed. So if you're like, I wish I was farther ahead, well, man, you need to be in this moment to make the next step. So trust in those divine detours by the universe. Trust in the options, the choices that the universe throws at you. I know it's hard as hell, but you are meant to be here right now, breathing, living. And actually, we are human. And I say human like HUEMAN. We are varying shades of color and people and I'm trying to think of the word. Spectrum. So human, HUEMAN, we are human. We're all on a spectrum. Beings. We're not human doings. We're human beings. We are meant to be in this moment. That was such a heavy... That was a heavy thing to drop, man. For a lot of different people that I don't know, who's new and who's been through before, but that was some heavy knowledge to impart to potentially new people. Bat spirit, a rebirth is occurred. Number 5, the change must happen. We must go through the progression. You can't stop it. It's happening already. So, your rebirth, your transformation, even though you fight it and you don't want to do it, you're doing it. And it really is a lot easier than you understand. Some days it's literally just getting up and putting your shoes on and putting one foot in front of the other. That is how your rebirth happens. It's the small steps. It's the little choices you make daily. It's the places that the universe puts you. It's everything all combined, all to once. We are all moving to the highest good and the greatest outcome for humanity and everyone. Stop fighting it. For the stubborn people in the back, stop fighting it. Canary spirit, sing your own song. Number 12, that's 3. So we're going to say that that's like the Trinity. And I say Trinity, it's like the Mother, the Maiden, and the Crown. Or the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. It's integrating all parts of yourself to be able to bring your own authentic signature. I almost said scent, but your own signature scent, your own personality to what you're doing. So sing your song. Don't sing your mom's song. Don't sing your dad's song. Sing your song. Because I guarantee it's the most beautiful fucking song ever. Yeah? And that's by integrating your past, your present, and your future. Okay. Did it flip? Did it not? It did not. Okay, we'll see if there's anything else in here. Okay. We got some stuff. We got the stag spirit. I have to grab it. There's a lot of traffic going on. I know I'm watching the door, but that's because, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. And I love having the door open. I'm more of a nature kid. I should actually be outside reading. And Zyra's been around for long enough. He has actually caught me outside doing readings before. Although I have a lot of shifty and dangerous energy around me right now. So I try to limit my exposure outside. So we'll get there eventually. When it's my time. Because I'm right where I need to be, right when I need to be there. When it's my time, we'll be there. So stag spirit, which is 58, breaks down to 12, which is 3. Again, tapping into your Trinity. Take the lead. Take the lead. Stag spirit, you are the leader of your own life. Take the lead. Elephant spirit, 25, which is 7. Learn from the past. Don't get stuck in the past and keep repeating the pattern. Learn from it and release yourself so you don't have to keep it in there. I always like to think of the elephant spirit as the elephant in the room. If you don't learn from what happened in the past, you're never going to get past that elephant in the room to have a new, brighter future. I don't know about you. I'd rather be out experiencing. I don't want to keep circling around the elephant in the room. I'd rather address it and let's move on. Let's free the elephant. Let's free ourselves. But you have to be willing to look at what happened in the past so that you can identify what's coming in the future. Pattern recognition. I know my family gives me such a hard time. They're like, you're living in the past. No, man, I recognize the pattern and I called it out because it's something that needs to end. And when you don't want to do that with me, then I'm going to take the fool's journey and say, you know what? You guys want to stay stuck in the past and that's fine. But I won't sit in the rooms with you. I've done my lessons. So starfish 59, which pops out to 14 or 5, open to infinite possibilities. So 5 is regeneration. 5 is growth. We need to change that. Rebirth is necessary, imperative, and it's happening whether you want it to or not. So open to infinite possibilities. And then parrot spirit 45, which is 9. Watch your words. Words carry impact. So you have got to be very careful of what you say, how you speak over your life, how you speak over other people. Watch what you're saying. It carries an impact and a vibration. That is, everything is energy and vocal is energy, right? So think of even just the tiniest, how it carries and ripples out into infinity. Every little word and things carry a vibration. Are you filling with love, life, positivity, or are you negatively casting? The other thing I wanted to say, and this is something, I mean, I struggle with it all over the place. Instead of saying I can't, you can say, I can't see a way out of this, or I can't see the outcome, and then add in, I am curious as to how to get to the outcome. So when we open up and say, like, instead of just saying, I can't this, be like, I am curious as to how this is going to work out. And you give the universe space to show you all of the miracles that your brain can't fathom. So if you say, like, I am curious as to how this is all going to work out, the universe will say, bet, I will show you the most magical tricks in my tool bag. It's also like when we're manifesting, and obviously we want to manifest and we want to be specific and we want to say, yes, I want this, but it's, you can say, I want this, like say, I want, I'll use just a little example. Like, I want a cheeseburger this afternoon from Freddy's, or this, or something better. When you add this, like what you want, or something better, it allows the universe to say, you know what? Bet you wanted this, but I'm going to give you a burger from, I want to say Islands. I don't know why I'm pulling the Islands. I don't know if you know the burger place Islands, but it's like, if you say, like, I want this or something better, then it'll open up to be like, I can give you more than what you ever asked for before. Like, say you really wanted beef because whatever. If you just say, I want a burger from McDonald's, well, if you just say this or something better, then the universe will be like, you know what? You're going to have a steak dinner tonight because you said this or something better. You gave me room to knock your expectations out of the park. All right. Hopefully any of that makes sense, or I didn't lose you on that. That's just some, and then we're almost out of this deck, I think. Badger Spirit, which I love, because if you've been around long enough, I mean, Siren knows. Badger Spirit. 4, be fearless and bold. 4 is our foundation. It's our foundation. So be fearless and bold. Fight for what you want. I think Honey Badger Spirit, like, they are fearless. They don't give a fuck. They will fuck you up, and that's how you need to be in your life. Stag Spirit, take the lead. Elephant Spirit, learn from the past. I love that they came out as confirmation. All right, let me see one more deck, and then I think I'm out. Just because I be like that today. All right, we'll just... Okay. And then I'm about to be out because I have to go. I have some things I need to take care of. And I'll be back later this evening. But I'm almost done here right now just because I have, like I say, some errands to do that are time sensitive. How I started kind of today was because someone had made a special request of me and then didn't show up, which was upsetting because I'm like, don't waste my time, don't waste your time. And I waited for like a half an hour past the time that they said that they wanted to meet, and they still didn't show up. And I'm like, yeah, that's a dick move. That's a dick move. Like, don't waste my time, because you won't get, unless, I mean, like, I understand things happen, but this felt intentional. And I'm like, you're only hurting yourself, because the next time you call me, I'm not gonna be interested in making any accommodations, because the one time I did make a special accommodation for you and then you didn't show up, no call, no show, you just wasted my time that I could have been doing so much other stuff. Mask, hidden motive, conceal, disguise, lying. So like for me with this person that made a special request, I feel that about them, is that there's a hidden motive, conceal, disguise, lying. And then addiction, toxic attachment, drugs, alcohol, obsession. So I love that Spirit kind of comes up for confirmation for me with that situation as I'm talking about it, thinking about it. It's like, oh yeah, this is what it is. And I've seen it and I've known it, but you know, it still makes me mad because I'm like, I'm willing to help until you show me why I shouldn't. I think they're looking for me. There's a FedEx truck that went by, turned around. I think they're actually, maybe not. My address is a little weird. When people come to visit me for the first time, they always get lost, which was beautiful. When my ex-husband came to pick up the kids for the first time, he couldn't find me. He was like way lost and was like, yep, well, cool. Reconciliation, reunion, second chance, back together, I miss you. You gotta put down the addictions first. You gotta stop masking if you want reconciliation. I'm waiting, like FedEx. There's something I've been waiting for from FedEx for a long time. So it'll be an exciting day when that comes in. That'll be a day of like whooping and hollering and magnetic attraction, alluring, lust, irresistible, flirting. I know I just got squirreled for a second there, but this is, you know. Sometimes the only excitement I have is watching the FedEx truck go by all day. And I know that sounds boring as shit, but I intentionally love living a boring life. Like, people are like, oh, that's so boring. I'm like, no, hello, Jeffrey, this year. How are you, my love? I love living a boring life. I'm like, I would rather sit out in the yard and just watch the birds and have my bare feet on the ground. Like, that is happiness for me. Truth, confession, clarity, reveal, secrets. I also like having fun though, and like doing like the really complicated stuff, but I also I love being simple. Yeah. All right, let's see. If I were to be, honest, I'm a little bit of both. I'm a contradiction. All right. Ghosted, disappear, silence, ignored, and rejected. Ah, man. All right. Jeffrey this year, how was your day, my love? What are you up to? If you care to share. If you don't, that's fine too. Ex-lover, memories, the past, old flame, and nostalgic. Is that why you're here? You're looking for answers on an ex-lover? Just shooting the tea, spilling the tea. I am Larry Joe, SirenSong lover. If you ever want to book a service with me, and I do tons of service, I do readings, but in intuition, I help with guidance, spiritual guidance, life guidance. I do Reiki, sound therapy, inner child healing, PTSD, womb healing. And I know a lot of you guys are in here are boys, but you have wombs too. That is your cosmic creation. So you also need to heal your womb and to be able to open and have like your own cosmic ideas, babies, all that jazz. So, all that jazz. We'll do some jazz hands. I'm a weird little nerdy kid and I don't fucking care. All right. Let's see what other cards came out here. All right. Breakup, walking away, ending, separation. It's over. We need to let it go just so we can rest, because wedding, marriage forever, the one, and union. You can't hold on to people, places, things that are going to have you holding back from forever. I had this, I had a 5 month wrong, I guess was the right term, but 5 month long relationship when it should have been over after an afternoon meeting. So don't stay in situations that are holding you back from the person that you ultimately want to be with. Storm warning, upheaval, obstacle, wrecking ball, drama. If it's causing you drama and you're unhappy, let it go. Let it go. Regret, mistake, guilt, wrong choice, and apology. All right. Don't live with regret. The other part I was going to say, if you can donate to my ministry, it is greatly appreciated. It helps so into my ministry so I can keep coming back to talk to you guys. It helps so that I can keep obtaining knowledge, material, keep the lights on, because that's truly a concern. That can be done. Cash App, Siren, capital S, Song, capital S, Lover, capital L. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to feed myself today. And I was like, hopefully we can get some energy flowing in, because it's not looking so good as far as being able to keep doing this unless I get flow going. And that's, yeah. I mean, I am where I am so that I can do what I need to do, but it does get a little scary. That's where sometimes God and I have beefed, because I'll be like, okay, man, what's the next step? I need this. I'm very scared. And then God will say, you know what? It's freedom over fear, bitch. Like, stop being so scared. Like, keep pushing towards freedom. Before, it used to be faith over fear. For the longest time, I said faith over fear. Like, keep walking, faith over fear. And think of, like, the seed of, the grain of a mustard seed, right? The faith of a mustard seed grows whole forests. And then I started saying freedom over fear. It's how do I walk the path so that the people I love can walk the path, because I know I was scared stepping out on it to walk it. But, and this is going to sound just kind of for a second, but I think of like Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. It's like she was willing to risk life and limb for her freedom, and she worked really hard. And because she walked the path, how many people walk the path behind her? And so for me, it's like, yeah, I'm scared, but I'm baby stepping. And sometimes it's only crawling. And sometimes it's only like clawing my way through the mud to get to freedom. But I know once I'm free, I can turn around and I can help the next person. Like, once I've walked the path, once I've created that path, somebody can follow behind me and they can get free. And then that next person behind them can say, hey, wait, Lara and so-and-so got, they fought for their freedom and they got it. So I know it's been hella scary, hella hard, but it's like freedom over fear. Do not let the fear of what you've been indoctrinated and told and you have to do keep you stuck from living your best life and allowing those who love you to live their best life. All right. Well, I know that was some heavy, we'll just say that was some mama love talk. Like, I've been so fucking scared on my journey. There have been times where I'm like, this is it. I don't know how. And yet, it always works out. As scary as it is, it always works out. So, be willing to fight for your freedom. Even if you're the only one, be willing to fight for your freedom if it don't make sense. Be willing to fight for your freedom if you're scared, you're tired, you're hungry, you're cold, you're wet. I don't care. You can rest, you can scream, you can fight, you can cry, you can cuss. I will say this. People that say, like, cussing isn't spiritual. Do you know how many times God and I have a yelling match? And then he'll be like, hey, bitch, sit down. I'll be like, okay. But you have to get it out to the void. Sometimes you just have to scream to the void until your voice gets out. And then when you're quiet, then the universe will come in and they'll be like, hey, you beautiful bitch. Rest. I know you're tired. I've got you. Get up. Yeah, when you're quiet, I had that conversation with one of my friends the other day. She's like, how do you hear your guides? And I was like, when you stop talking, your guides will be able to say something. So if all you're doing is screaming and crying and your guides can't speak to you, the universe can't talk to you. All right. Addictions, toxic attachment, drugs, alcohol, obsession. Do not let your addiction stop you from hearing what you need to hear. Regret, mistake, guilt, wrong choice, apology. Apologize to yourself. Stop doing the things that hurt you. Addictions only hurt you. Well, they don't just hurt you. They hurt the people that love you. Like, friends don't care about your addictions. If they're enabling your addictions, they don't actually love you. But you love you. and your family or whoever is truly trying to help you get better loves you. I think that was a hard, like, I told these people that I love the most, I'm like, hey, you need to put the bottle down. And they wanted to say how I was trying to ruin their fun. It was like, no, man, I love you enough that I don't want to watch you. I don't want to bury you. It's not that I don't want you to have fun. It's not that I don't want you, like, I don't want to bury you. And then when they started doing riskier things and not listening, I'm like, you know what, I love you, but I love myself enough to not let your addictions take me down. So love yourself enough not to make the person that loves you have to pick out what coffin to put you in. I know that's really maybe a harsh way to say that, but love yourself enough so that the person that loves you doesn't have to pick out what coffin to put you in because you couldn't put down the bottle. And if you're having a hard day with your addiction, call me. I've fought through those addictions. I faced my hardest days. I do mean my hardest days sober. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love the people around you. Whew, that was some heavy shit. Okay. Let's see. That was the other part. I was brave enough to walk through my addiction to get through that fear. Because it was like, oh, it's easier to pick up the bottle and drink. Well, I'm going to tell you the freedom that comes when you give up your addictions is miraculous. And now, mind you, I still have addictions. I'm still human. I still vape. I still love flour when I can. Yet when I'm intuitively guided and or broke, flour becomes an accessory, not a necessity. So I can cut off from my addictions when I need to. Nicotine's a little bit of a different... I've given up a lot of other addictions, though. A lot of other addictions, so it can be done. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay. Sometimes coming in to have a talk is because it's like... Sometimes it's a pep talk for you guys. Sometimes it's a pep talk for me. Sometimes it's like a pep talk to say, hey, man, I did it. You can, too. And I'm here cheering you on. Family, generations, children, ancestors, origin. Whew. Be brave enough to break the ancestral chains so that your kids have a better outcome. I love to talk about this. We like to complain about the generational trauma we get. No, when you're brave enough to do the work and break those curses, those chains, you also inherit their generational gifts, their wealth, their abundance, their inheritance. So know that, yes, it's hard to break ancestral chains, but the payoff is that your ancestors work for you. They're cheering for you. They're helping guide you. And they're also giving you all of the abundance that your family won't ever be able to touch because they didn't do the work. They're giving it to you. All those gifts, because you're breaking those chains that they couldn't do, they're unlocking it for you. So yes, breaking ancestral chains is hard as shit, but you also get their gifts, their guidance, and their help. Do it so that your kids have a better life. Put down the bottle so that your kids know that drinking is not an integral part of a healthy family dynamic, or whatever the addiction is. I choose drinking as like the easiest for me to talk about and discuss because it was a monster / demon I dealt with, and there's reasons for that. There was a lot of abuse and trauma in my family. So, like, drinking was, a form of what they used to perpetuate that abuse on little children. And B, it was also, like, socially acceptable. And that's something my dad did till the day he died. So drinking is easy for me to talk about because it's very much... And I loved people and they couldn't put the bottle down. But I decided, regardless of whether anybody else was coming with me, I was doing it. Because I don't want my grandkids to think that it's okay to drink like that. I want my grandkids to know a life without abuse, and I don't know if they will, but that's why I started out on this journey, was that I wanted better for myself and my children and my grandkids. And yeah, having the faith, having the freedom, saying, you know what, I'm going to keep going. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but I'm sure as hell going to try. Okay. Unfinished business. It's not over. Patterns, back and forth, baggage. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if there's anything more. And then I'm going to get out pretty soon. I'm going to... Ex-lover. All right. Ex-lover. Memory is the past. Old flame. Nostalgic. Divine timing. Wrong timing. Stalemate. Perfect timing. Waiting. Sometimes it's like right person, wrong time. So it's like, yes, that person is yours, but you guys maybe connected when you were unhealed. I actually saw another creator talk about that today, how the person he's with now, it's like they met a long time ago while they were unhealed, and then they went on their separate paths, and then now that they're on that healing journey, like they've come back together, and they are more solid than ever. So sometimes we do meet the people, and we're like, we love you, but it's not the right time for it to be. So you have to wait for universe to make that happen. That's been a recurring theme too. Ex-lover and unfinished business came back out. We'll just put those back into... All right. Okay, ex-lover. I'm going to end that with that. I am Lara Jo, SirenSong Lover. Should you like my vibe, please hit the subscribe. Come join my tribe. If you can donate to my ministry, it is greatly, 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 greatly appreciated. That's how I earn my money, is through donations and readings. And right now, I'm starving. I'm not really starving. It's just getting, we need help. I need help. The critters and I need help so I can keep purchasing materials, so I can keep bringing you guys information, so I can keep impacting lives. So if you can donate, it's always greatly appreciated. Like I say, it's Cash App. It's Siren, capital S, Song, capital S, Lover, capital L. Should you wish to donate to my tribe, that is, should you wish to, I know I just said donate to my tribe. Should you wish to email, Cat got my tongue. Apparently I can't talk. Let me take a drink for a minute and collect my... Energetically, I'm about to start running. Like once I get up off this chair, energetically, like I'm not going to stop to sit down probably until I come back to record later. And I will be back in later, guys, if you're interested. Look for me to pop up. So it's like my tongue will start getting faster because I'm like, I can already feel myself amping up for like what needs to come next, which is, let me take my own advice, breathe, rest, meditate, drink my water. Okay. Should you wish to book a service with me, that is through SirenSongLover@yahoo.com. Oh girl, you're getting awfully brave. You know she's gonna come over here. You got 30 minutes. Okay. So should you wish to sow into my ministry, it's Cash App, Siren, capital S, Song, capital S, Lover, capital L. It's up here right now. You may be about to see a cat fight. That's why I'm like, oh shit. Should you wish to book a service, it's SirenSongLover@yahoo.com. My, I do have a website. It's SirenSongLover.in. So if you ever want to go check out stuff there, I'm all over socials, mostly on TikTok doing short form stuff, kind of talking about life stuff, and then doing long form here. But I have things kind of all over, so whatever platform you're on, if you can find me. Not so much on Insta, definitely not on Twitter, although eventually maybe I'll get over there. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming to check me out. Like, hey, you are not going to be that dumb. Badger, get the fuck down. You are not. Get down. You are not. Anything that is not for the highest good of this house, get the fuck out. Energetically, you're not welcome. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying not to have bodily harm happen because there's some aggression that just popped out, and that's not good. Badger is about to get his nose fucked up in Anywho, yes, thank you for joining me. You also just saw how sometimes I get aggressive with energy and people not listening. I'm not sure what's going on with Badger, but he's about to create a big problem. And I'm surprised the other girl twin is not aware that that I've got company. Because this kitty is not normally ever allowed near me, especially if Alcatraz has got eyes on it. So I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to keep him because he's looking. Don't play with me, dude. You're gonna get hurt. That's the other part. He will energetically get aggressive around me, and then he gets snapped by energy and he gets hurt. And I'm like, you know better than to play or to do that because you get hurt. Anyway, okay, guys. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I'll talk to you soon. Like I say, I'll be coming back later. Enjoy your time. I hope to see you later. When you're in, please come in and chat. I love chatting. That means that we get like that energy exchange and that reciprocity, and that helps establish a bigger connection. It's funny when I start coming out with synchronicities because people will be like, how did you know? Are you in my living room? I'm like, no, it's just energy. Energy doesn't lie. People do. Energy doesn't. All right, guys, have a great day. See you later. Bye.